Live from YMSL Studios, welcome to the Dougless Report plus Douglas today. A very special guest, our old buddy NRJ is in Montreal getting the key to the city from the mayor after their first victory in franchise history.
When do we rename the show the NRJ Less Report? When does that happen?
Well, if he keeps not showing up very soon. So Douglas, welcome aboard, and also you have a title also, even though you're not playing this year, the batting coach of the awesome undefeated Bears who lead the league in runs. So you must be coming in for a raise very soon.
Right off the bat, I like to say that, please stop calling my agent. I'm under contract with the Bears. I mean, we have teams like the Braves and the Hurricanes that have like 10 runs on the season. And my bad news Bears that, I'm coaching third base. Yeah. For that team, have scored at least 11 runs in every game this season, right? So more than some teams have on the whole season. Yeah. They score in every game, but that's it's great to be actually there watching the game. So my son Victor's on that team, and that's why I go to those games.
I mean, we got to talk about we're going to start off with the Bears. Usually we start with Memorial One matchups, but we're going to start off with Meadowbrook because the big story of the year so far is the Bears 4-0 start. We all remember the unknowns last year, starting off 8-0, blowing everybody away. But I find the most amazing thing is about the Bears' 4-0 start is they're doing this with absolutely no pitching whatsoever. Yep. And I mean, there's a stat that's going to blow everybody away. The first game, Charles Saka and Nemi, I guess, combined, right?
Yeah, so Charles pitched 6 innings and Nemi pitched the last inning.
So they gave up 11 walks in the first game, and the Hurricanes could not buy a hit to get to drive it. Walked the bases loaded 2-3 times and couldn't get a hit. And then,
I got there, it was bases loaded, no outs, and they didn't score that inning. That was like the second or third inning of the first game. Yeah. And they were like completely flipping out. Sammy Towell, who happened to have been 0 for 7 on the day. Yeah. And I know Sammy a long time, and I've been in the league 5 years with him. I've never seen him this upset, throwing his helmet, saying, "I don't believe Charles Saka and Nemi, and I'm 0 for 7. And I mean, he's stranding guys, here and there on the bases. And it was just, you could reverse the names almost. Like Bad News Bears could have been the name given to, to the other team.
Yeah, but, I mean, let's start off with the Bears before we get to the Hurricanes. I mean, you look at their offensive numbers, it's staggering. I mean, you got guys hitting 600-700, even though it's only 4 games into the season. Eddie Richte, Eddie Michon, Mo Cass, in between them, maybe hitting, their on-base percentage is like 800.
As a team, they might be hitting over 600.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Every guy is at least 5'6". I mean, you look at it, it's impressive, but again, until they get this, I mean, it's crazy to say, but who's going to have to rescue them coming in later on in the year? None other than the big Moses.
Yeah, Moses. He's going to come down from the mountain in 40 days, and he'll come down right to the pitcher's mound.
I mean, I don't see how this could go on. I mean, Nemi's can't hold up for 2 innings less than never mind on the game, but.
Yeah, Nemi pitched well. I like the way he's pitching. He doesn't really lob it over. He throws strikes. But every time I get to the game, and I get there in the second inning, Charles Saka's always on the mound for some reason. If you want to get to the others, we can go here.
Let's go to the
so we're in the box score.
Some of the numbers.
So I got there, and I asked Nemi. He was on the sidelines. I'm like, "Hey, Nemi, why aren't you pitching? Because my hip. I'm supposed to take 3 weeks off." It happens to be that Charles pitched the first game, Nemi the second game. Then now they have a bye week, so he does have 2 weeks off, right? So we'll see how that holds out. But,
look at these numbers. Eddie Michon 733, Eddie Richte 692, Robert Braha 538.
Yeah, there's so many guys on the team that are over 500. Yeah.
It's,
and you look at it, I'll tell you a couple of things about this, Bobby. Right away, two points I'll give you is if you took out John Eliezer from the other team, just one player from the Hurricanes. There are 9 players on the Bears hitting higher than anyone else would be hitting on the Hurricanes, which is unbelievable. Yeah. And another thing I looked at is Eddie Michon and Eddie Richte have been 10 for 14 combined in the first 2 weeks, each week.
Wow.
10 for 14 week 1, 10 for 14 week 2. They're the number 3 and 4 hitters on the team. I mean, this team is going to pile on runs if these guys are going to hit like that. So I don't know how they're going to slow down. But
Eddie Richte's hitting 4th in the lineup?
Eddie Richte's hitting 3rd.
Wow, he's lead off.
He's hitting 3rd. It's Jake, then Eshko, and then Eddie Richte. Eddie Michon, Morris Casson, and Victor. And then
that
Nemi.
lineup is.
I mean,
just,
it's nonstop.
And who's also contributing in big ways? Murray Towell.
Murray Towell, 7-14, 3 for 4
I mean, this guy went in
week.
the 12th round. I think Morris Casson, was keeping low profile on Murray. Nobody else really knew him, so he went late. But he's been getting some big hits, driving in big runs.
The bottom of the lineup, just cashing runs in, and it's just, they're always ahead, they're always up, and it's just tough for other teams, especially if they're not hitting, and it's frustrating for them because they think they should be scoring.
Also, I mean, the big thing, they're playing great defense also, which is a thing. So they're really getting offense and defense. But again, this league, come playoff time, is built around pitching, and so until I think until they resolve that situation, that's going to be a concern. And they got to figure out. I know Louis Mastri played right field. It was a little.
He played right. He switched off with Victor at short center, back and forth. So he did make a play at short center.
Victor might be in right field very shortly.
It could be, but Charles Sack is really the right fielder there. So if he's back. He left because he has tennis the last 2 weeks, so he left after the first game. But he's supposed to be playing right, and then he's supposed to be pitching. So we'll see how that shakes out. But Victor did play right for the lefty hitters on that team. He went out to right field. Right. But Eddie's been great. I'll tell you the truth. Eddie Rishney, Eddie Michon, short and second base have been amazing, making every play. Turning barehanded double plays. Just completely amazing.
And their infield is great. Morris Casson at third, and Robert Braha is a great defensive player.
Robert's making unbelievable catches.
Yeah,
the speed with Jake and Eshko and left and center. I mean, I love the team. When we analyzed the whole draft, I said this team is like, you love them.
Yeah. We all said the same thing. It's really going to go as far as the pitching takes them, and Nemi was the whole key. So it's really nothing's really changed in that aspect, but. It's going to be interesting to see how it pans out. Moses is still a few weeks away, so we don't know what. But he might step right into the starting position if this comes up. But it is a problem now. If Nemi can't go 2 games right now, to have Charles Saka walking 10, 11 guys.
11 guys in game 1. Yeah.
I mean, they had 16 walks on a day, which is unheard of. So, and they scored 5 runs in the. But let's talk about the Hurricanes now. You were there. There's a lot of tension going on in the organization.
Yeah, and I won't mention names. Guys were coming up to me and saying, I'd rather not come for this, and I'd rather not hear stuff like this, and a lot of fighting on the team. And there was a turning point play in game 1. I believe it was maybe 3 or 4 to 1 Bears at the time, and Eddie Michon hit a ground ball. I don't remember who it was to. It might have been to Richie Braha, but it had pulled Sammy Towell off of first base, but the ump that was actually by second base at the time called Eddie Michon out. So they were all arguing on the Bears, he was off the base, and the ump wouldn't ask for help. Finally, he said, I saw him out. And then Mike, who's the home plate ump, said, well, I saw him safe. So everyone went nuts. Sort of showed up the other ump, if you ask me, but because the ump didn't even ask for help. But Eddie Michon went straight to first base. They ended up scoring 3 or 4 more runs in that inning, making it like 7 or 8 to 1 in that inning, and that was all she wrote. And the Hurricanes were just flipping out of the whole, overruling him. Who asked you to overrule him? And it was just downhill the rest of the day from there. That was just it. Yeah.
Well, the ironic part, they started out the season in a bang. They won 4-0 their first game, and they've gotten blown out in the last 3 games by a combined score of almost 29-6 or 7, something like that.
Yeah.
I mean.
And David Gindley, I should say, is pitching okay.
He's pitching good. He's pitching okay. I don't think he's been the problem. But you look at the numbers down the line. I mean, Eliezer is hitting .455. Richie Braha 091. Louis
it's
Frank
the same
at
ground ball
273. David Gindley's at 200. 333. Daniel Towell 250. I mean, also another thing. Murray's also at 273 and Nathan at 286. The outfield does not cover too much ground. I mean, they don't really have a bona fide center fielder. They have 3, outfielders, but nobody's really step up. So a lot of balls fall in, and
and I was just sending guys home, to tell you the truth.
Yeah,
we were sending guys just the throw was coming all over the place and just not great. Just pouring on runs.
And I mean, things are so bad that Sammy Towell's in Israel, and he was at the wall.
Even
praying,
the wall can help him.
Yeah, praying this week for, I don't know, for a center fielder or for some offense or for a hit for himself.
He was there before this game?
No, right after.
Oh, he's there now. He ran out to Israel.
0 for 7.
Okay.
He caught the next flight out. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
So you know, we're gonna see how long how everything transpires in the Hurricane organization, and we'll see if the Bad News Bears keep it up. We'll talk about their matchup.
Well, they're off.
Oh, they have a bye this week.
Yeah, they have a bye, so they're 4-0. You know, undefeated with a bye. So
yeah.
they're coming right back to first place again.
So now let's go to with the next hottest team in the league is also at over there, Memorial One, which was Nathan Towell's Exit 105, and this team is just playing unbelievable softball. Not hitting so much, but pitching and defense has been unbelievable. And the Max Jadid is just, you know...
Player of the week, by the way.
Yeah, co-player of the week.
Co-player with Eddie Richley was player of the week.
Gave up 2 runs in 2 games. And actually, he's given up 4 runs in the last 3 games.
Wow.
And their defense is outstanding. David Braca playing outstanding short center after having a down year last year. Solly Entowell is probably the best third baseman in the league right now. And Mosham, of course, at short, and Nathan playing left, Eli Harari playing center. They're just doing enough offensively to get the job done, but Max Jadid looks like a completely different ball player than he was a year or 2 ago.
Last year he looked like he lost confidence.
Yeah.
You know, after a game we beat him, he was sitting on the floor by himself. You know, right by the pitcher's mound, like weird stuff you were seeing. But I saw him. He came to our field, to the Bad News Bears field. After he was done, he was like, I just gave up 2 runs in 2 games, and you know, he didn't love the team he faced. He said they didn't have such great hitting. He thought it was like sort of a weakish type lineup. But you know, you mentioned you saw like the end of that game.
Yeah,
so,
I saw it. And then I'm going to mention Solly Entowell has really offensively stepped up his game. He's hitting .667 on the year, hitting the ball hard every time, getting big clutch hits. And this team is not really, even offensively, has not even hit their stride. You know, I mean, so.
You had Elliot Patesh was 0 for 7.
Yeah.
Sammy Towell 0 for 7. When do you ever see a week of those guys combined 0 for 14, right?
Yeah, Elliot Patesh, slow start at 214 on the year.
Yeah.
So it's going to be interesting to see, you know, if they could continue it. They have, fortunately, they have the Hurricanes coming into town.
Really?
Yeah, so they could easily pad their stats this year.
That's not good for the Hurricanes. If Max Jadid's on fire,
yeah,
he's got
5-1.
They got to face him.
The Braves, on the other hand, missing a couple of key guys. Solly Towell still nursing a severe sprained ankle. He's listed his day today. Hopefully, be ready this week. And Stephen Patesh was in rehab in Florida. So they had 10 guys exactly, and Jeffrey pitched very good. I mean, they just did not have enough in the tank this game, and the big play in this game was in the first inning of Game 1, the 4-run, which led to a 4-run first for the Exit 105. Something you never see. A.B. Cohen dropped a fly ball, which led to 4 runs, which basically put the game away. It was a very big play. And
it doesn't look like he's hitting yet.
No,
1 for 7 only. You know?
Solly and they had a big 2-run single that inning, but it really that drop ball was a big thing. And you look at their averages, you know, down the line. Really, it's you know, you got some low averages. Nathan Patesh 385, A.B. Cohen only hitting 231, Irwin 385. I mean, these are their big bats. Sam Michon's at 500.
Yeah.
So he's good, but. You know, a lot of guys in the media picked them to be, you know, World Series.
Yeah, I love that team. That's the other team we liked. We said Jeffrey Sack. It looked like last year's team a lot, right?
Yeah, I mean, we said they didn't look like they had too much offensively, but they were very solid at every position. So, but I guess they really need everybody to be there every week because you know, the bench is a little weak, but you know, it's going to be interesting to see how they recover. Now they're 1-3, so they're
who do they have coming up
in a big week. We'll find out later who they play, but you know, so it was you know, they really had nothing. They played 2 runs in 2 games, so you know, they're going to have to find offense.
How was Jeffrey after the game? What do you have to say?
Jeffrey was, you know, he was pretty down, but he understood that they were missing a couple of guys, and you know, I mean, there's not much you could do really. You know, he had there's not enough manpower there to to get him. And Max Shadid, to his credit, pitched incredible. So, you know, we'll see if that continues. Because remember, 2 years ago, he started at 8-0 or 7-0 with a, you know, with team. Norman was on that team, Nathan Towell was on that team. So, and they fell apart. So we'll see if that continues.
Yeah.
Now let's get to. Let's go to Memorial 2 before we get to the big Expo game. But we get a Hustle versus All In. And
so we got a split here.
Yeah, and a big news coming out of the Hustle organization. I'm sure you heard about that.
Yeah.
The signing on Saturday night of Robert Red Nesser to contract for the duration of the season.
Is it for the duration?
Yeah.
Okay. He started the game, right?
He let's make this very, very interesting point here. Mavora had a calf injury.
Yeah, a lot of injuries going around.
From what we're told.
Yeah.
And was not going to be available to pitch. And Red, you know, they signed Red. He pitched the first 4 innings. Mavora gave the ball to Mavora with the lead. And Mavora blew the game, and they ended up losing that game. So
I didn't know. I spoke to Mavora. He didn't tell me that.
What? He didn't tell you
No, he told me Red blew the game. He didn't tell me he blew the game.
What do you mean?
He said Red was getting rocked around, so he came in.
But they had the lead when he came in. So what's that mean?
Oh, I don't know whose runners were on base. Were they all Reds runners?
Well, I don't know, but it was. Maybe we get some.
We'd have to get clarification, maybe.
Why don't we get?
Maybe I didn't want to fish Jimmy Malach and Henry Shalom or something.
Maybe our producers can get a hold of Red and we'll get the real version.
You can get Red. So he pulled him? You were there when he got pulled?
No. This is what my sources were telling me here. Let's see what it says here. Doesn't say when the pitching change was, but in game 1.
We need Elias Sports Bureau to call in with the pitch count for Red when he was taken out.
Maybe we got to find out if that was. We got to call up and find out. Maybe Chucky could elaborate on us. But nonetheless, it was. You know, it's kind of interesting how Moses and Red did not get a job, and now could have.
Right.
Week 2 have get a major position
for sure
for teams that in the playoff run. I mean.
Yep.
You know, Moses could end up with if Moses ends up with a championship trophy as a pitcher,
it could happen
when he wasn't picked.
Well, his team's going to make the playoffs.
No, I mean he might be the pitcher.
Yeah.
So that would be very, very interesting if that happens. And you know, but it looks all signs pointing to him being the starter if he ever can get healthy. But so Red remains to be seen what you know if he's going to get any more action and you know. But so far he's.
I guess he'll come every week, right?
Yeah, he likes the team, you know, and he's got his buddy Marty there, so you know he'll help coach. So now Maurice Haber's team's 2-2 and Hustle's 2-2, and let's talk a little about. Let's see some of the who had big games over here. Jack Abadi with a big week, 4 for 7. He's playing outstanding.
Yeah, Maurice Haber's been hitting the same guys really on that team. Maurice 3 for 6, Jimmy 4 for 6, Henry 4 for 8. So you know the same cast of characters on that all-in team.
Yeah. A big surprise on this team has been Ralph Matute, a very good talent.
Yeah.
And Maurice, as we said, is hitting. What's he hitting on the year? Maurice Haber. 615.
Yeah.
Wow, putting in some major numbers.
How's Leo pitching?
Well, there's a bit of a controversy. I'm hearing sources.
What kind of controversy? Who else could have been? Maurice wants to take them out?
Well, some sources inside the organization are telling me that they're not really too happy with Leo's performance because he's been walking a lot of guys.
Okay. How many walked? How many guys? He walked a lot last week? Yeah, 2, 4, wow. 5, 8, 9, 11, 12 guys.
12 guys in 2 games. Now,
that's a lot of guys.
And the thing is that this week he is in Montreal nursing injury. He's on the DL for a week, retroactive to April 21st. So now I think either Maurice, it's going to be interesting to see Maurice or Bawabe is going to get the job for the week.
Okay. But they want to walk less guys. Why would Bawabe pitch or walk more guys?
Well, they're going on the theory that Bawabe the only reason he was awful last year was with Saban screaming in his ear. So they're thinking with a tame, captain and a good scenario, he might be good.
Well, he could get the cotton balls from Red. Red used in the finals when you can put those in.
So it's gonna, then Maurice has a big decision. Now remember, Maurice was going to be the pitcher on this team until Henry threatened to walk if he was. Right. So now, some tension within the organization. Even though they're 2-2 right in the thick of things, this could be a bad thing if suddenly somebody pitches great this week. What's going to happen with Leo? Remember, they took in the 4th round, which was was it 3rd or 4th round? Very early they took him, and well,
they could always work out a trade maybe to the Bears or something if Moses doesn't come back. The Bears are scoring a lot of runs. Maybe they can go ahead and trade something.
So the Bears, the Pirates might need a pitcher. Yeah. Remember, our phone lines are open, and anybody want to call, you have our number 7325 YMSL 55.
What's going on with Big Soli? With his, now he's got an injury. Yeah, he's a little gimpy.
I'd like to get back to that Red version if you can. Our source could call Red maybe and get his version of events.
Right. We usually have the papers here with the phone number.
Yeah.
Right? So maybe we'll give that.
What were we talking about?
We were talking about Solly, see how he's doing with
Solly was, he looked like he was injured too. I think he was, they had a pinch runner for him every time he got on base. They had somebody running for him. So let's see what's...
they got Ike with a calf, and they have...
Solly was 1 for 3. 1 for 3 on the day with 2 walks.
Right.
Looked like Haas was hitting for him in one. Could that have been Haas?
Haas went for Solly.
For Solly, that's impossible.
No. Not many at bats.
No, he hit both games. So.
Avi was 0 for 5, batting 182.
Yeah, really, Avi has that big grand slam, and that's about it after that.
That's it, yeah.
But let's see. So this first game. The first game was a 8-4 victory. Okay. We have a international call coming in from Damascus. Jimmy, you're on the air.
Hey, Bobby, what's going on, bro?
Hi, how you doing, Jimmy? How are you?
What's going on? I haven't been watching the show, so I just got to call. I wanted to speak with my mind. What's going on, guys?
Yeah, good. We were just actually recapping your team's game right now, and we were talking about Leo. I heard some rumblings in the organization that they're not so happy.
Leo, he's doing well. He's not pitching like Cy Young, and he knows it, but he's doing well. We're 2-2. You can't complain. We're hitting. We came in the clutch last week. He pitched really well first 5 innings. I think against a very good team. He actually outpitched Bavor for the first 5 innings, and then we came through the last inning and we prevailed.
Well, he walked 12 guys. Any concerns about that?
Look, how many teams walk 12 guys? The Badgers Bears walked by 15 guys. Didn't say they're 4-0.
Yeah.
Well, I can name you a couple other teams that named 15 guys or whatever it was, and they're doing 3-1 or they're doing 2 or whatever.
Yeah, but I don't think it's a recipe for success to walk guys.
Obviously, it's not a recipe for success. You walk so many guys, but he'll come around. Look, everyone knows Leo. He has a good resume. He's done it before. His pitch flow was insane. He won the tournament last year. Yeah, so you know what you're getting with him.
Yeah. So now he's not going to be there this week. Who's getting the nod?
We have a star pitcher up our sleeve, Mr. Maurice Haber.
Oh, really? So
yeah, coming out of retirement, Jackie Morabia might pitch his second game.
So
yeah.
Okay.
He might actually break Leo Caston's walk record.
Oh, come on.
No, I love Morabia. The guy's the most humble guy I've ever met.
Yeah, very nice guy.
He's the best guy on the team. I love him. And he knows when his time is right. He pitches batting practice better than anybody, I'll tell you that. Morabia pitches batting practice like he pitches it right there,
All right, that's good to know.
Yep.
So now tell us, your team's 2-2, right in the thick of things. What do you think of the rest of the way? after analyzing all the teams, how do you think you stack up with the rest of the teams?
This is the truth, and I think you guys could go with this. You agree with this? This has been the most balanced season ever. I don't see any one team that could beat any team could beat any other team any day of the week. Some teams have hitting, no pitching. Some teams have pitching, no hitting. Some teams are walking 15 guys and scoring 80 runs, and some teams can't score for whatever. And but I honestly, our team, I really think we're right in the middle of it. Obviously, you can see we're 2-2. We're right in the middle of it. We can our hitting 1-4. I think we're all batting 600. Me, Jack, Henry, Maurice. And we're AB Dweck came through a couple of times this week. So our lineup is great. Our pitching, obviously, look, we walk guys, but we're playing great defense. Guys that watched our game, they can tell that our defense is great. And that's what wins: pitching and defense and timely hitting, and that's what we have.
Yeah. So this week you're playing the 1-3 Pirates with Meyer Safdie, so you can pad up your stats a little bit offensively this week.
No, look. First of all, Meyer, he has the lowest ERA last year, and I play defense behind him, so I know what he could do. So all that 1-3 record, I don't believe it. I don't buy into it because I know what he could do. And last week they didn't have Jordy, so that's the shit. It's still early in the season. You can't tell who's good and who's not. What was it? Went to 8-0 last year, Jordy and Joe Chira, and then he lost in the first half.
Yeah.
So it doesn't mean anything. 1-3, they could easily be 3-1. And so it's still early on. You can't tell who's good, who's So you can't take. We're not going to take them lightly, obviously. And obviously, I hope I tied my stats against my.
All right. So Jimmy, continued success the rest of the way, and hopefully all in will be in the playoffs.
Definitely. No, we're looking forward to it, and I can't wait. Hopefully this will be my first year in the playoffs.
Oh wow, that's a major step.
Yeah, I was with the Chiefs Crowns a few years ago with Dougless.
Yep.
And last year I was with the winless Twins.
But what about with the Damascus Diamondbacks? You were
we were reigning champions 6 years in a row. That was the outside league.
You were really dominating that year, right? You had some.
I was me and Eliezer. We won. We were like Mano and Maris that year.
Yeah, you used to slaughter the opponents. You killed everybody that year, right?
Yeah, and then that's how I learned how to throw balls from third base. I used to airmail them,
You used to throw grenades. You were throwing grenades, right?
Well, that's why it goes so far off over the first baseman's head.
Exactly. So we were trying to hit the second floor on every apartment.
All right, Jimmy. Good luck the rest of the way, and we'll see you on Sunday.
Definitely.
All
See
right.
the videos. Let's start with watching those videos.
Yeah, we're waiting for our production department to get back.
If you need any help, I could. I'm right there.
All right, you got it.
I'll see you about it.
All right, thank you. So Malak, obviously happy with his team, but all kidding aside, I've heard Malak's playing outstanding defense at first base. So he finally found his position. Maybe saved a couple of errant Maurice throws from third, and so he's good. And let's go now to the. Maybe we can get Red. Commercial break and you have our schedule. Let's start looking at next week's schedule.
All right.
While we're here.
Right there. Okay.
All right.
Let's go to the schedule right there.
Just to get a quick glimpse at it before we go to Meadowbrook for the big expo game. Okay. All right, so we can go through that. Before we get to our Meadowbrook game, let's take a word from our sponsors, and we'll be right back.